Okay, so now hope all of you have come. So we are just looking at it. The question I'll just go through once more for that particular thing that we looked at here. 3,75,000. 3,75,000 is the amount received. Doesn't have this thing. From whom? From M Limited. So when we looked at it, we thought there's no issue because it's relating to M. This thing for M Limited, there is a problem. But below they have given the shareholding pattern. So where Mrs. this feed in C. So more than 20% holding is there. We saw only this. But here if you see, here holding, he doesn't have anything, but 20% more. Therefore, she is a person who is interested, substantially interested person. And when this happens, this amount will get clubbed into the hands of Mrs. Raghav, or whatever is the name given in the question. As a result, it will not be taxed in the hands of Raghav. That is what we are looking at. Now, that is why this is not taxed in the hands of Raghav. Now, house property income. What is it saying? House property income. Self-occupied. Up to 2 lakhs you will get here. See. Up to 2 lakhs maximum you will get because other details are not given. Therefore, we don't have to worry about all those things. We just look at up to 1 lakh, up to 2 lakhs will be available. 3,50,000 is paid, but only up to 2 lakhs will be available for self-occupied. This repayment, we will have to consider under 80C. That we'll look at it separately. Now let's go back. So this is 2 lakhs is available for self-occupied part. Now, if you look at the gross and value of the property, it is shown as 7,80,000 minus municipal lakh minus standard deduction 2,15,000. So here, again, I'm just going back to the problem. 60,000 per month. Therefore, 16,000 in at the rate of for 12 months, 7,20,000. Municipal tax is nil and interest is 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs is that rate. So what is the problem there? Though 5 lakhs is available, what have to be done? Five lakhs is deductible because it is let out. The entire amount is deductible. But this again, you have to be careful that to the extent of what is the next one? The negative here cannot be more than 2 lakh. Individually, see, he is getting 5 lakhs is available as deduction. So 4,000 is the balance amount. 7,20,000 minus standard deduction minus 5 lakhs is available. Now, let's try to understand here. The 2 lakhs self-occupied is relating to self-occupied only. But, sir, there is something you told about that in the clubbing provision. Yes, that is, if this one is minus, that is restricted to 2 lakhs. Up to 2 lakhs only minus. Then that cannot go beyond that. So within the head, you can get to 5 lakhs, mind you. Okay. Now, X receives direct, indirect benefit from rental income or property. Now, again, this is that Vamika thing from the sister's daughter. This part. Delhi, he has given it in earlier years, and that amount is coming to Vamika. But by provisions of section 60-61, because it is a revocable transfer, it will get taxed in the hands of Raghav only, because Raghav has given that property to her, but without consideration, number one. But the problem is that it is a revocable transfer. after the lifetime of Vamika, it will come back to Raghav. So it's a revocable transfer. And when revocable transfer is there, the clubbing provisions will get attracted because 5,50,000, though Vamika is now getting it, but will go back to Raghav only. It is because it's a revocable transfer. That is why that amount is being taxed in the hands of, see, in the hands of Raghav only. 5,50,000, municipal tax, nothing is mentioned. Standard deduction will be available. The balance 3,85,000 will be taxed. The total house property income, here there is minus 2 lakhs under the previous page. It is relating to self-occupation, and minus 2 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 4,000 plus this thing is 1,89,000. Business income, share of profit is exempt under 10A. Now again, look at the question, because this is the part of the question where it is being coming here. Mr. and Mrs. form a partnership of equal share. Mr. Raghav transferred 1 crore to such firm. There is no income and expenditure, and the interest on that is receiving 9 lakhs on such deposit. Firm distributed the entire surplus to Mr. Raghav. So firm distributed with share of profit. But share of profit is not taxed in the hands of Raghav. It will be taxed in the hands of the firm only. That's why this is being given here. See, that is what they're saying. Business income, there is nothing because that 4,50,000, 50% of 9 lakhs is not taxed under section 10(2)(a). Share of profit is not taxed. Apart from that, he is getting debenture, that is taxed. Dividend from cumulative taxed in the section 60. This again, we'll go back to that. 13 lakhs, what is happening? Now here, this one, Hitangshi or something. See, Hitangshi. What he was holding preference shares, but the dividend only he directed it to be going to Hitangshi, daughter of his servant. Now this is a irrevocable, though it's irrevocable transfer, but yet it is received by Hitangshi on behalf of Raghav. So there will be again clubbing provision of 60 will come because it is, he is not transferred the preference shares, he's still holding it. Only the income is being transferred without transfer of the asset. Therefore, clubbing provision will come. Therefore, it will be taxed in the hands of Mr. Raghav. Now, that is why this 13 lakhs is coming back. Then interest on saving account, anyway, it will be taxed. Gift from niece. Now, this is also, unless you know the definition, you will be, is not a relative. Within the parameter of 15(2)(b), therefore 50,000 will be taxed as 75,000. That's how house property income, other sources, total. Now, what are the deductions? Let us see that deductions. Sorry. So here, what are the deductions that is available? 80C, prepayment of residential property up to limited to 5,50,000. Yes, submitted more, he has paid, repaid more money. How much he has paid? He has paid almost, you look at the beginning, 2 lakh plus 3 lakh, 5 lakhs he has paid, but it is limited only to how much? Only to 1,50,000. Then 80 TTA, this interest on savings account, he will get out of that because it's not a senior citizen, you will get 10,000. That's our total income. Again, here be careful. What are they asking in the question? Let us look at it again. Compute total income. Please take care of this. Don't sit and calculate in a hurry your taxable in tax calculation and all. They are asking only total income. Please don't do mistake of sitting and computing the tax rate. Please don't do it because there's hardly any time to do it. On top of that, if you make these mistakes, you are going to lose marks. The idea is to attempt 100%. That is your attempt. Attempt 100%. That is very important. Okay. Now let's look at the last part of the question. What is the last? I hope this is the last one. Let us see. Discuss the taxability of the following transaction, giving reasons in light of relevant provisions for your conclusion. Number one, Rajpal. Now again, understand, reading is very essential. Again and again and again, I'm telling you, reading is very essential in your exam. If you don't read it properly, you will be in trouble. Okay. Now, Rajpal took land on rent from Shilpa. So this is Rajpal. This is Shilpa. Shilpa is having the land. He took it on rent. Who? Rajpal. He sublets it to, like this you can write in the question and there's no problem. Please write like this, then you will understand the question. He sublets to Manish. And Manish uses, and Manish, what does he do? How much is he did it? 11,500. And this was for 10,000. Now Manish is using it for agricultural activity. Rajpal wants to claim the deduction of 10,000, that is this fund, as a deduction from this paid to Shilpa from his rental income. You are asked to discuss the relevant provision. So I'm not going to explain it. We'll look at the solution that will tell you clearly, because whether it, see, the question is what this is being done for agricultural activity. Who Manish is doing, the final person who's using it is for agricultural activity. He is paying rent to Rajpal. Therefore, is that rental income that is paying also takes the character of agriculture activities? That is what is the question. Now, if it takes the character of agricultural activity, then income in the hands of Rajpal will be exempt. Therefore, even the expenditure cannot be claimed because income itself is exempt. By virtue of section 14A, the expenditure cannot be claimed because income itself may be exempt in the hands of Rajpal. So let us see what it says. This is what they are asking you to specifically answer. Rent in case of sublease. In case of sublease, amount collected from owner of cattle, normally used for agricultural purpose, allowing them to graze in forest land covered by jungle and grass spontaneously, is treated as income from agricultural activity. So amount collected from this thing, CIT versus some case law is there, see. 1953. It is not chargeable to tax in the hands of the landowner, even in the case of sublease. Because now Rajpal has taken on sublease, it is not chargeable to tax. Therefore, income received by B means Rajpal here, is exempt from tax under section 10. When income is exempt, no deduction is available pertaining to expenditure. What is the expenditure? Which rent he has paid. So here, what is not taxable here? This is 11,500 that Rajpal has received. That is exempt. Then the amount of 10,000 that he has paid to the Shilpa cannot be claimed as deduction because the income itself is exempt under by virtue of 14A. Okay. Let's go back to the next question. Mr. Pratham, a non-resident, underline non-resident, they received a sum of 1,15,000 from Rakesh, a resident. So, a resident to non-resident on account of transfer of right to use the manufacture process. Now, why did he receive it? Pratham received a sum from Rakesh. on account of transfer. So this is Pratham. Not this is Pratham. Pratham is allowing use of a manufacturing process for which Rakesh is paying to him money. Now, this Pratham is a non-resident. He has developed that manufacturing process in Singapore, and Rakesh is using it to be carried out in Dubai. That manufacturing process right to use, Rakesh is using it where? In Dubai. Again, go to that your chart number 1, which I discussed just now. There we have to see who is the person receiving it. Receiving is Pratham. He is receiving from whom? Resident. What is the resident using it for? So in the chart number 1, if you look at it, it says that if it is received from a resident, what is the resident using it for? That for this manufacturing know for something in Dubai. Therefore, it is being used outside India. Therefore, it is not deemed to accrue or arise. His income is not deemed to accrue or arise in the hands of Pratham. Again, I'm repeating. If you look at chart 1, it talks about deemed to accrue or arise India, but the example which shows is only interest / royalty. Now, why did he use this? Who used it? Rakesh used it. He's a resident. The resident is paying to Pratham. What? The royalty. Now the question is royalty, whether it's taxable or not in the hands of Pratham. That is a question. Now, what did the resident that Rakesh use it for? He used it for his business in Dubai. So it's not used in India. When it is not used in India, this amount that is paying to Pratham does not take the character of deemed to accrue or arise in India. That is the logic here. So if you know table 1 properly, understand and do it, easily you can do. Because you have to remember the table, otherwise you cannot do it. The table should be clear in your head. Okay, let us look at the answer. Royalty received by non-resident. E is a non-resident. He gets royalty for transfer or right to use of manufacturing. Royalty is received by F, the resident or ordinary resident, received from F. This name is here Rakesh, and this one will be Pratham. F uses, that is who? F is the Rakesh, is using manufacturing for his business outside India. By virtue of this, royalty is not deemed to accrue as India. In this case, royalty is received outside India by E. Then it is not taxable in India. Conversely, royalty is received in India. That is because of the provision of table. Table first, if he is receiving in India, then it's a problem. That is that who? That Pratham, that E. Then non-resident item, it will be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Received in India. So received India category, it will get caught. I'll just see if I can show you that chart. I hope I have it here. You remember this chart? This is what we are talking about. That is deemed to accrue in the definition. We were looking at deemed, that is why chart 1. So adile varathilla. It will not get captured under, because it's not deemed to accrue or arise in. But the problem is the money is received by the non-resident in India. Then it will get taxed even for the non-resident. That's the problem. That is what they are saying, trying to say that. So you should not get the money here. Then it will get caught under this. So here it is being checked here itself. So it doesn't go here at all to check deemed to accrue. Because it is received in India, it will get taxed. So non-resident has to be careful that he doesn't receive the money in India. So that also you are supposed to write in the question. That is what they are expecting, that in the answer, you need to give these explanations. Now, what is the next one? Netram grows paddy on land. He then employs mechanical operation on grain to fit it for sale in market, like removing hay and chaff from grains, filtering grain, packing rice in gunny bags. Now again, packing rice is a very difficult term to understand. But anyway, whatever is required to be sold. He claims the entire income by him, sale of rice is agricultural income, not liable to interest. Here, what is they are asking is specifically whether it is agricultural income or not. Now, it has to qualify for agricultural income. All the activities to make it marketable should happen in the farm where it is being produced. If it is these things or activities done outside, then it will get taxed. It will not be an agricultural operation. So that is the main crux in this, because when we look at another problem, it will be a little different. And that is what you need to understand, that all these things are done at the place where it is being produced, that is at the land. He employs mechanical grain, but all said and done, it is done there only. It's not done outside. So what are they saying? Let us look at the answer. Sale of, now again, read section 2, that is agriculture 10.2, I think is agricultural income. Section 2, 10.2. Sale of, 2A, 2.1A, under 2.1A. So not this. Income from process ordinarily employed by a person to render the produce to be taken to market is agricultural income under 2.1A, BA 2. If paddy is converted into rice to make it marketable, then the entire income is taken as income from agriculture, not chargeable to tax. Please read that particular section under your material. Material is good. Please understand the difference, because they have asked questions on this. Similarly, nursery. Nursery time ingane choichittundu. So all these are expecting you to write the answer according to the provision. Okay. So I will stop here today. I expected to do both the things, but I don't think it is possible. I will not do justice if I rush through. Whatever we'll do, try to do it as best as possible so that you get the benefit out of it. So don't worry about it. Next, that is on Wednesday, we will continue with GST. Is there any other query or anything that you need to ask? Anybody? Any of you? Please mute, or not a question relating to anything, but we can discuss that. You can ask me separately. Otherwise, what I want to know is that the first part of it, I little bit hurried because I wanted to finish, but now then I realize it's not possible. So I'm going a little slow. Whatever we do it, we do well. So what I suggest is, you can go through these answers again, but please understand how to read the question. My objective is, when you read the question, you have to be very careful. Again, that speed is required. Otherwise, you'll not be able to do it. But practice that in the next 10, 15 days. I'm sure it will go a long way to answer it properly. Because if a question answer, you can do it. Otherwise, you'll not be able to answer. So my idea of doing this is not to give you solution. That is already there with you. You can always read it. My idea of doing this is only to make sure that you are able to handle it properly in the time required. So your practice now on should be only to make sure that you are able to read it and understand it better so that you can give the right answer. So what are they asking here, for example? Discuss the taxability of the following transaction. Give reasoning, giving reasons in the light of the relevant provisions of your conclusion. So you just write, no, it is not taxable. How will you get marks? How many marks is this? 3 marks, 2 marks each. 3 marks, because 2 parts are only. 2 marks, 3 marks. 3 marks, one line area, one array mark. I don't have to tell you, some of you have seen your papers only, so you will know better than me as to where you've gone wrong. The idea is for them to, even Singanayalem Cheradayittu thannittund, you can write properly if you know the provision well. That is the idea. Okay, so we'll close here and we will do it same thing on again on Wednesday. Today is what, Tuesday, Thursday, and 7 o'clock, same time. You please come. We will discuss it. Spend the time, because I think if you discuss this more, you will be able to benefit out of it a lot. Not the answer. Answer, you can always go through it again and again in that material, or, in Singhania itself, you can go through it. So I don't think that's a problem. The idea is to discuss just so that you know how to handle the question. Okay, that's why I'm also insisting on this paper. I could have used Singhania's thing, but Singhania is so crammed that you will not understand the question. So if you look at the questions are so crammed here, it will be very difficult to understand the question itself. See, it's so confusing. But if you look at it now, you will start appreciating that CA question paper is much better than Singhania's way there because you spread out. And so you take your time, enjoy that way of reading it. Just practice in the next few days. Keep reading the question and trying to answer it in your own way. Don't have to write it also. You can just see whether you are understanding the language. That is very important. Okay. Okay, then see you on Wednesday. Okay. I'll try to figure out this one, how I can, so that it doesn't break. We can have a without any break session. Okay. So we'll see you on Wednesday. Okay. Okay then. Thank you. Keep fighting, keep slogging. Okay. But again, take care of your health.